Come with me on this Twitter thread. What's something that's clearly a scam but Americans have been conditioned to believe is normal? Filing taxes. Other countries just send you a bill. U.S. uses human error to prey on poor people and let rich people game the system. Advertising for prescription drugs, rarely taking vacations, supersized portions, flying flags everywhere, going into debt over the cost of college, bankruptcy due to health care costs, credit scores, filing your own taxes, cops in schools, militarized police, guns in general, no maternity, paternity leave, and PB&Js. Strapping 17-year-old kids with no credit 50 to 100K in loans to pay for degrees in which doesn't guarantee a job or career. Insurance deductibles. It's basically saying you paid monthly for this product you may not ever need, but if you ever actually do need it, you're going to have to pay more just because. Credit scores. Nothing's real. It's all made up. Do what you want. It's all made up.
Easy. Health and wellness culture. We praise transformation over self-acceptance. Self-acceptance doesn't mean giving up on growth or change. Dismissing legitimate concerns or challenges that underprivileged people have by saying you're the only one standing in your way. Marketing health as something to be purchased instead of being about mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Demonizing food as good or bad by promoting alternative products to regular foods. Marketing health as something complex, difficult to achieve, implying that fit has a look, lack of inclusivity. I've said it before, if you're shaming, obsessing, ruminating, guilting, judging yourself for your exercise or food habits, you're prioritizing it over your passions, hobbies, family, friends, real-life connections. Please rethink your approach and your perception of health. Health adds intention to every area of your life. Mainstream wellness is a privilege.
Milk is so good, and I love milk, but it doesn't do anything. It's actually really bad for you. It doesn't help you get big, strong bones to be big, strong man. It's just really bad. It was built on America propaganda, and it's shit. It sucks, but I mean, I'm still drinking it.
Single-family zoning. Throughout most of major American cities, it's illegal to build any type of housing except.
You need a 4-year degree to get a job in IT. Google offers IT certificate. No degree required. Only takes 3 to 6 months to complete. This is $49 a month. Average salary for IT.
The United States education system. I said what I said. When children in the United States go to school, they learn a very ethnocentric version of history. Go to school anywhere outside of the United States and you'll see a very different viewpoint. While schools outside of the US focus on world history as well as the history of their own country, the problem with the United States is that they glorify and amplify a lot of the problems that happen. For example, Native American issues. They are glazed over as tiny blips scattered throughout American history, but Native American history is American history and it's overlooked. And they do this in lieu of any history that pretty much starts after the United States was formed. It's not so much American history, but United States history. And that's the problem, is that students don't know about real American history, or Black history, or Asian American history, or Jewish American history. Basically, they tell you what they want you to know.
Front lawns, dude. The most irrigated crop in America, more than wheat, more than corn, is grass. We use most of our drinkable water on grass.
College. Yeah, I said it. But y'all not ready for that conversation, though. Okay, let me tell y'all why. For one, college does not teach you how to make money. College teaches you how to get a job. You pay thousands of dollars every year, and what do they give you in return? A piece of paper. A piece of paper pretty much stating that you know the bare minimum to enter this field and get a job. Here's the funny part. A job isn't even guaranteed. You'd be surprised on how many people graduate college and don't even get a job in the field that they majored in. And it's crazy to me, right? Because people would literally not invest in themselves. You know, they won't put in like $500 to learn how to make 6 figures plus. I mean, who wouldn't do that? But we'll pay $60K a year, maybe more, for college. That doesn't even guarantee you money. And not only is it $60K, but it's a loan with interest. Well, let me tell y'all something. I'm 19 and I have never stepped foot in college. And my bag is long.
Recycling plastic. NPR's Planet Money and PBS's Frontline did an extensive series on this earlier this year, and I'll put a link to it in the comments. The short version is that our concept of plastic recycling was invented by the oil and gas industry in the 70s when they realized that plastic pollution was becoming a problem and that the public was becoming upset about it. And so they created the Ad Council to start to promote the idea that plastic pollution was the fault of the consumer, not the manufacturer, and to encourage consumers to recycle plastic. The truth is most plastic isn't recycled, it's buried. And the plastic that does get recycled is usually recycled in other countries where it creates a lot of toxic waste.
Not too long ago, I needed to go to the hospital and I went to an emergency room. They admitted me, had me sit in a chair for about 5 hours, and then after that sent me on my way because there were too many COVID patients. They gave me 2 Tylenol, $1,040. Let's see the breakdown. Oh yeah, that's cool, just going. So they turned me down. The next day I went back because I really wasn't feeling good. Kind of the same things went down. Let's see what they're charging me. Oh, that's just sweet. So then I go back for a 3rd day because I feel like I'm dying. This time, all they gave me was a shot in my arm and sent me on my way. Oh, it's just the best. Yes, I love it. So now I have to pay $2,500 in medical bills for 4 Tylenol and a shot of Salumedrol.
That apparently I'm the real life Jamie Fraser and yous all won't leave me alone asking me to say Sassenach all the time. You bunch of nutters.
Pet deposits? So you're telling me that I could have 5 kids running around this 2-bedroom house, but because I have a fluffy little cat that likes to sleep in a laundry basket, I have to pay an extra $600 deposit when I move in? And don't even get me started with extra pet rent. Does this cat need to pay an extra $50 a month to rent this little laundry basket in my spare bedroom? Pet deposits are an absolute sham and just a way of punishing people who don't want to have kids. Like, I get it. They could have accidents. They could tear up the carpet. That stuff happens. There are bad pet owners out there too. Now, granted, I don't have kids, but I definitely was a kid, and I remember doing some pretty horrible things that most certainly ruined deposits for my parents in the past. And all I'm saying is this little guy is an absolute angel.
Going into massive debt when you can earn free college credit. My university advisor told me about this. Sign up for a CLEP exam. It's one test, proves you know everything. Go to Modern State, so we'll pay for your CLEP exam. You only need a 50 to pass.
Oh God, where do I begin? Okay, restaurants. Why is it okay for restaurants to pay waiters and waitresses $2.13 an hour, but it's the customer's fault for not providing a living wage to those employees? Let's talk about how in college you'll pay 6 figures to get an education to land yourself a 5-figure job. Let's talk about how insurance companies make billions and billions of dollars a year, and they've branded themselves as always on your side and like a good neighbor, and they have this sweet little lizard that's on their commercials. But the lawyers that are literally fighting for justice are branded as ambulance chasers. Not to mention that we wouldn't even have a job if the insurance companies did the right thing all the time. Let's talk about how entrepreneurship is considered only for failures, but there's 1,700 millionaires born every single day in the United States, most of them entrepreneurs. Let's talk about how owning a house is a scam when you should be renting out a duplex.
College. And let me tell you why. You pay an institution thousands of dollars, and what do they give you in return? They give you a little piece of paper that certifies that you know enough knowledge about something to enter into the job market and do something great with the world. However, you might not get a job in the first place. On top of that, you go into crippling debt trying to pay the government back for paying you to go to college in the first place. Not only is college a scam, it's a terrible business deal.
This goes out to my Christians. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, or has it ever said, that homosexuality is a sin. In the original Hebrew version of the Bible, there is a word that starts with a K that I honestly do not know how to pronounce. What I do know is this word translates to man shall not lay with boy, not man shall not lay with man, that the English version of the Bible says. So what can we infer from this? The original version of the Bible says pedophilia is a sin, not homosexuality.
Betta fish are a scam. Betta fish need at least 3 gallons, if not 5 to 10, of tank space, not the tiny little bowls that they sell marketed to betta fish. They're also tropical, so they need a heater, and they're carnivores, so they need to eat meat. The reason why they sell them to you in those tiny little cups and they give you those flakes with plant matter and stuff in them is because betta fish are pretty, so even when they're sick, they're still going to be pretty. And guess what? They're going to die faster. And what happens when your fish dies? You go back and you buy more. Here's an example of a minimal tank setup for a betta fish. It's 3 gallons, it's got some planks for him to hang out on, it's got a heater. That's it. They also need clean water, not water filled with their own pee and poop. So being in a tank like this, or like this, or like this, it's like being trapped in a see-through porta potty.
Property tax. You're paying tax on something that you already own. And if you fail to pay that tax, the government's going to come and seize your property. literally stealing it from you at gunpoint. If it pleases the crown, might I continue to dwell in my domicile on the land which I own?